Joan Nichols, and I'm back with Representative Tom Tillberry from District 51B. Welcome back to Capitol Voice.
Hi, Joan.
It's been a real interesting, the week has just started, and we just, well, let's talk about the GAMC vote.
That vote yesterday that took place, very difficult vote. It's something that I don't necessarily understand too much. I mean, I didn't understand the veto to begin with, so that's a given. And I don't necessarily understand how someone can change their vote from 1 week on the same legislation, and then all of a sudden, because the governor doesn't like something about it, they say, oh, well, now it's not any good. And we had 2 hours worth of debate on the floor. It didn't really help me much. The part that confused me was especially when the argument was to, well, we thought it was going to go to a conference committee, so we just voted it out. Well, we didn't need the votes at that point. You only need 68 to pass it.
And how many did we have?
125.
That's overwhelming support.
So 38 different people decided you were going to vote for it. I'm sorry, I don't understand that. When I think of what it meant, though, is because I've been talking about we need to reduce. That's pretty obvious. We, have to reform things to get the most out of the dollars that are here, since they're pretty scarce. And then we have to figure out ways to have revenue to fill in the blanks.
And you did all of that in this GAMC bill.
Yes, we did. And so if that's the case, and a part that never did get talked about on the House floor, because it was through negotiations that we had to negotiate this out, was a self-sustaining tax piece that the hospitals kind of came up with Representative Murphy and others. And they had decided that would be something that they could do to help sustain that. Well, that was, nope, we can't do that. So then that was pulled out. So I struggle with the thought that somehow negotiations, or we'll keep negotiating. I'm sorry, the deadline was yesterday. I mean, when you run past the deadline, all the letters are going out. The electronic means of knocking these people off of the rolls happens. It happened yesterday, or it will happen today.
So that people understand back home, the override failed to override the governor's veto, but now it's back on the table for negotiations.
Well, it's
but the clock is ticking.
But the thing is the deadline happened yesterday, so then everything will have to be either retroactive. So everything right now, I would say, costs money. So we could have done it without costing money. Mm-hmm. So now with negotiations in that scenario now, which who knows what's happening. I mean, I read in the newspaper that the governor is going to be meeting with top legislators regarding this issue, hoping to negotiate. I don't know, maybe he wasn't around this weekend. Maybe that's why the negotiations weren't taking place. Because one thing you have to understand, working with this particular governor, is that he doesn't really give any authority to any of his staff to make decisions. So they come in with no authority to negotiate. So if they don't have any leverage, they don't have any negotiating power, what good is it? I mean, that just is basic negotiating. If they have to wait for someone to okay it, where are they? Mm-hmm. Was he around? I don't think so. I think he was in different states.
So the people understand the legislators' plan offered really a much more inexpensive, cost-effective, cost savings that would have allowed our hospitals and GAMC clients to continue on for the next 16 months.
Correct. It beat the unallotment deal that the governor had. But that's okay. So today, I'm hopeful for something to come out of this negotiations to continue. But I am very disappointed that politics got in the way of this, and I'm not sure what it proves at the end, because I don't like having to balance the budget on the backs of people who are making less than $3,000 or our most vulnerable Minnesota citizens. I just don't see that.
We will be back in 2 weeks to hear what's progressed since then. Again, this is Representative
a
Tom
good
Tillberry.
update.
I do too. District 51B, thank you.
Thanks.